And now for part B, they tell us that, oh, for the other test, this part A was the mathematics test, in part B was the science test. 30 students passed the science test, so what percentage passed? Uh, 30 over 40 times 100, yeah, correct. So percentage pass equals to 30 students out of 40 students, you multiply that by 100%. Okay, so that will give us 75%. And that's all. So I'll show you an alternative working for part B. Alternative. 40 students represent 100%. 30 students represent how much? So it's the same working. Divide, then multiply. So we have 100 over 40, so that's 100%, times 30. And you get 75% also. Same. Okay, next question. In 2009, village population 2,000. Then, 1 year later, increased by 10%. You need to ask yourself, 10%, this is in your mind, huh? Of what? Increased by 10% of what? That's what you need to ask yourself. And it is increased by 10% of 2,000. The original. Okay, so these are the notes that you should be having. It increased by 10% of the original, of 2,000. So calculate the population in 2010. Okay, so part A, 100% represent 2,000 people. So increased by 10%. Well, you can write 10% will now represent. So we are trying to find the increase over here. Same working, do a division, do a multiplication. Leaving us with 2,000 over 100 times 10. That gives us 200. So this is the increase. There's an increase of 200. So the new population in 2010 must be 2,000 plus 200, which is 2200. Okay, this is one way to do it. The other way is, instead of finding 10% over here,
110.
yeah, you can change this to, instead of 10%, 110%. So one step you get the answer. Because 100% plus 10% will be 110%. Then now, something else happened. In 2011, the population decreased. So decrease has a meaning of decrease is becoming smaller, reduced. Reduced by 5% of 2010 population. No longer comparing with 2020 and 2009. It is now 2010. So calculate population in 2011. So part B, decreased by 5%. Okay, so what is our 100%? 100% represents the number of people in 2010, 2200. Then since there's a decrease by 5%, we want to find out how much it dropped. Or if you want to do it in one step, it will just be 95% represent how much, and you get the answer straight away. But if you cannot think that way, you just want to find the number that reduced by, then later you subtract also can. So same working, divide, times. So 2200 divide by 100 times 5. So 22 times 5, we get 110. It reduced by 110. So population in 2011, that will be 2200 minus 110. Yes, 2090. So that's our population in 2011. Okay, so if you want to do it in one step, the answer will be, I'm not going to write it down, it will be 2200 divided by 100. Then you times, okay, get the answer already, then you times 95. Again, the same 2090. One step. The next page. Okay, next page. Okay, coffee, usual price $6, now 15% discount. What is the amount that she paid? This is a real life question. We could see that. Okay, so 100% represent $6. How much did she pay? You can either find the discount first or you find the final answer. But I want to do it part by part. So 15%, that is our discount. Divide, multiply. So 6 over 100 times 15. The discount is 0.9. 90-cent discount. So how much did she pay? She paid $6 minus 0.90, which is $5.10. Super expensive. Do you all go Starbucks? So expensive. Why you go Starbucks? Go and buy the instant coffee and do it yourself. Huh? Not instant coffee. Or go to the coffee shop and buy, cheaper. $1 plus only.
Not so nice.
Really nice, man. Do you really think that
You never drink before, man?
I drink before. Oh, okay. So customer service is different, lah.
Yeah.
That's what you learn in EPS also, right? Okay, so fill in the blank. Okay, so you go to a restaurant, $30, 7% GST. How much is that? So that will be.
$2.10.
Okay, so 7% is the same as 7 over 100. So this percent symbol is the same as over 100. It's the same. Then the 7 is just put on top as the numerator. So 7% of $30 will give us $2.10. So the original meal being $30, now you have to pay $32.10. $32.10. Where does the $2.10 go to? Fireworks? Maybe. Goes to the government. Okay, to help us. Alright, next. 5 liters cost $11. 1 liter costs how much? Part A, 5 liters cost 11. 1 liter cost, same thing. Divide, multiply. 11 over 5 times 1. Times 1 no need to write. Okay, so we have 11 divided by 5 to give us $2.20. So this will be in 2 DT because money. So it is in 2 decimal places. So Peter, he filled the tank of his car with 48 liters of petrol. By the way, do you think this is a realistic value? Petrol, $2.20 per liter? Not realistic. No lah, now it's still about there lah. Or maybe a bit more expensive. So this is a rather realistic amount of money that you pay for petrol in Singapore. 48 liters, is it realistic? His car, pump 48 liters. Yes, it is also realistic. How much is he going to pay? Let's find out. So 1 liter costs $2.20. 48 liters will cost, same thing, do your division, do your multiplication. 2.20 over 1 times 48. So you get, wow, 105.6. So this is a realistic amount that you have to pay for petrol in Singapore. You drive for 1 week, you need to pump petrol. How much are you going to spend? This amount lah. Expensive, huh? That's why I cycle. Okay, bus travels 105 km, 90 minutes. Average speed. Do you remember the triangle? Yes, DST. DST. Hey, you forget then how? If you forget? If you forget this triangle, you can at least remember the units for speed. Unit for speed is km per hour, right? Now, what does this tell us? It tells us that speed equal km, distance. Then this per means divide. Then here we have time. So here we have it. As long as you know the unit for speed, you have the formula. Speed equals to distance divided by time. Okay, speed equals to distance divided by time. So now find the average speed. Part A, average speed, distance divided by time. 105 km divided by 90 minutes. However, they want it in terms of kilometers per hour. So what needs to change? km no need to change. 90 minutes needs to change. 105 km. What is 90 minutes in hours? 90 minutes in hours. 1 hour 30 minutes. Do I write 1 hour 30 minutes here? What should I write? 1.5, like this, 1.5. 1.5 also can. 1.5 also can. 3/2 also can. But the question is, how do you know that it is 1.5?
Where is hour?
So 60 minutes equal 1 hour.
1.5.
90 minutes
1.5.
equal divide. See, I'm using this all the time. 1/60 times 90 give us 1.5 hours. I use this all the time because it's so useful. So we have 1.5 hours in the denominator. Now I have the units in terms of kilometers per hour. So I use my calculator and find out the value. 105 divided by 1.5, 70 per hours. And then now in part B, the bus after this travel another 45 minutes. Average speed 80 kilometers per hour. So this is like a totally different question already. You change the average speed. And the time also different. How far has the bus traveled altogether? So we need the distance from the first part plus the distance from the second part. The distance in the second part. In our triangle, distance is given by speed times time. So distance, we want distance, we cover it up, we are left with speed times time. Distance equals to speed times time. The speed given to us 80 kilometers per hour. The time was 45 minutes. We need to change that to hours also. So the next part, instead of 90 minutes, we are going to have 45 minutes. How many hours is that? So same thing, divide times. 1/60 times 45. And you get 60. Okay, yeah, you get 0.75. So put it over here, 0.75. The distance traveled 60 kilometers. This is for the second part of the journey. So total distance 105 kilometers at the start plus 60. So you get 165 kilometers. Okay, so distance, the unit will just be kilometers over here.
Yeah, why now you use equal? Then just now you use
Okay, because why sometimes equal, why sometimes represent? Because 60 minutes really is equal to 1 hour. When I use cost over here because 5 liters is not equal to $11. They're different things. When they are really the same thing, then I put equal. If they're not the same, it's either represent or some other words to describe it. Okay, conversion. Likely question for your N levels. 180 kilometers per hour. 180 km per 1 hour. Can you write that down? This is the conversion that I would like you to use. 180 kilometers per hour over 1 hour. So they want you to convert into meters per second. So 180 km to meters.
1,000.
Okay, so yeah, times 1,000, but how do we remember that? 1 km equals to 1,000 meters. So 180 km will be divide times 1,000 over 1 times 180, 180,000 meters. And now, hours to seconds.
Times 360. No, 3,060.
Yes. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Right? Then equals to 60 times 60 seconds. 3600 seconds. 1 hour is the same as 3600 seconds. So now our units is changed to become meters per second already.
15 meters per second.
So calculator, you will get 50. Is that it?
Yeah.
50 meters per second. 1 second, 50 meters. Very fast. Usain Bolt, 100 meters, just below 10 seconds. This speed over here requires just 2 seconds to finish the same 100 meters. So the next one, part B, 35 meters per second, change it to kilometers per hour. So go on, Aloysius. Can you wake them up? Hong Wei. $35 meters per second. So this is what it means, 35 meters per second. So over 1 second. Equals to how many kilometers per hour? I want this to be in kilometers, I want this to be in hours.
Divide by 1,000.
Okay, so we can use the same thing, huh? 1,000 meters equal 1 km. Then 35 meters, how many km? 1 over 1,000 times 35 km. Okay, so this is our 35 divided by 1,000. You can key that into your calculator. That is 7 over 200, 0.035. 0.035. And now 1 second in terms of hours. Okay, so
1 over.
earlier on we said 3600 second equal 1 hour. Then 1 second equals to how many hours?
1 over 300.
Divide
3,000.
times 1 over 3600 times 1. And that is going to give us
1, 2,
0.002027777. Don't want to write that. Leave it as a fraction. 1 over 3600.
I put it as 1 divided by 3,600.
Same lah. 1 divided by 3,600. Okay, so key all this in your calculator.
126.
You get exactly 126 kilometers per hour. Okay, now Myanmar is 1.5 hours behind Singapore. So Singapore is over here. Myanmar. It is 2030 in Singapore. We need to go back 1.5 hours. 1900.
1 hour 30 minutes.
So what time is it in Myanmar? It is
7. I mean 9. 1900.
1900. Let's go. Because it's behind.